What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Let's Learn. Normally what we do here is I put on a song for the first time and then I explain my thought process as I try to learn it. Today's a little bit different. We're looking at a song called Above the Clouds of Pompeii by Bear's Den. And I listened to this and it's really, really easy. There's only 4 chords in the whole thing. So I'll tell you what those are right away because during the chorus and later on in the song you just strum those. Really, this video today more is going to be about the picking pattern. It's a little bit crazy. It sounds kind of like this in the end, except better. Right? So it sounds like there's a lot going on there, but we're going to break down how you kind of do it, how you might want to figure it out. Okay, so first thing you're going to do is you're going to need your capo, and I've got mine on 5th fret. I have my guitar tuned down half a step for something else I was working on, so you're going to have your capo on 4th fret. Otherwise, it's going to sound kind of wrong. Of course, you got to be in standard tuning. If you're not in tune, it's going to sound weird anyway. But yeah, so I have your capo on 4th fret. Again, ignore the fact that mine's on 5th. I'm just a crazy guy, and that's why I do that. Yeah, so the first chord shape that you really got to deal with here is a C. P.S. Your chords are C, D minor, A minor, and F major, right? So later on when you're strumming it, it's just going to be C, D minor, A minor, F major, right? So with that out of the way, let's get to the crazy picking stuff. Really, you don't need to worry about any notes in the chord except for the root and where your index finger is. And the reason for that is because the index finger is involved in kind of the melody part that goes, and then the root is going to determine kind of the bass line that's going on. So with that bass line, you're going to think of these 2 fingers as kind of one unit, just going back and forth like bum, 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 bum. And then your middle and ring finger on your right hand are going to be kind of the melody notes. So what you'll do is keep your index finger always on the G string, right? And then your thumb is going to be wherever the root is of that chord. So starting out with the C major shape, really we just have to worry about the C at that point. So 3rd fret above the capo on the A string. And then do thumb, index on the G, right? So these 2 guys, all they're doing is going, right? And that's pretty easy. And then the other bit that's going on is this, right? So that's 1 on the B string, 3 on the B string, open E, and then just back down. So 1, 3, open, 3, 1, right? So if you're trying to figure this out on your own, basically just listen for what sounds like the beginning of a major scale, first 3 notes, and then back down. Pretty easy. So, this, pretty easy on its own, and this, pretty easy on its own. It's fitting those together that things really get kind of messed up. So what that's going to sound like, pretty slow, is like this. Right? So if we were to break that down, it's thumb, index, middle. Right? So remember, your middle finger on your right hand is on the B string, and then your ring finger is taking care of the high E string, right up here, if you can see that. So, thumb, index, middle, thumb, thumb, index, middle, back to the thumb, and then you can do middle finger again, but you're going to add your pinky on your left hand because we're moving up that scale. That's the melody line. And then index again. So that second, sort of the higher bass note, right? Because again, we got those 2. So it's... Right? So try and think of it maybe just in chunks if you're getting a little confused. Here's the first chunk. It's just boom, boom, boom. And then the next chunk, or the next 3 notes, thumb, middle, index. And when you do the second middle, you got to add your pinky on this hand. Right? So, okay, hopefully that makes a little bit of sense breaking it down that way. Right, so the next note is going to be your ring finger on the open E string. And then you can do thumb again. Right, so this is sort of like a middle chunk. Again, it's just ring finger, thumb. And then you're going to do this bit. You're going to do that with the bass notes. So it'll be... Right, so basically, these two fingers for that last little chunk are going to work together. You can do the high open string, and then thumb, and then these two together, and then thumb, and then these two together. Notice on the last time I've taken my pinky off, I'm back down to first fret on the B string, right? So that last bit, right? When you think of it that way, it's really not too crazy. The key with this kind of thing is you really got to practice slow. And I gotta admit, you know, before I made this video, I was sitting at my desk over there, and I was just going... Right, so, and it wasn't that fast. It was pretty slow for a long time. So the nice thing is, once you get that picking pattern down with this hand, it's the same pattern for the rest of the chords, right? So after we've done this with the C, which we just talked about, what you're gonna do is switch to that D shape. But again, you don't really need to worry about a normal D minor, which is like that. Right now, just keep your first finger on the first fret on the B string. Take your second finger, put that on the second fret on the G string, and then your two bass notes that these guys are going to be doing this time, that's going to be your open D and your second fret on the G string, right? So before where we were going, now it's, right? And the rest is the same. So thumb, index, middle, thumb, middle, index, open E, just like before, and then these two guys working together again, right? So again, pretty easy once you get that pattern down. So it'll sound like... Okay. Finally, we move on to the next chord, the A minor. Once again, just worry about this finger on the B string. What you're gonna be doing is these two guys, open A, open G. So it's gonna be right, exact same as before. And finally, we get to the last chord, which is the F, right? So take your ring finger, put it on the third fret on the D string, and your bass notes in this case are gonna be third fret on the D string and open G string. So same picking pattern. Okay, and that's it. So that's really the whole song. Like later on, again, you're gonna be strumming open chords. Like during that part, that's like, I was too young to understand the flowers slipping from your hand. During that part, it's just open chords, really easy. So I guess I'll pause the video and I'll zoom in real close to my right hand here so you can see what's going on, and I'll do it slow a few times, but otherwise we're good. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.